Hey crafty friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kelly Wicker and I'm super excited to have you all here today. I wanted to do something a little different and get back into doing video intros. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I have body image issues and anxiety about being in front of the camera, so bear with me. And I wanted to give you a sneak peek into my craft room. So here it is. And I just wanted to come on and say thank you all so much for liking my videos, subscribing, and commenting and sharing my videos. It helps me out so very much, so I really do appreciate it. And I want to let y'all know there's a lot to look forward to in 2025. I have a lot planned to share with y'all, so I can't wait for you to see what I have to create with. And so with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Alright y'all, for today's card project, you'll need some amazing items from Spellbinders' brand new release, the Vivid Expressions collection. Here's the whole collection. Spellbinders was kind enough to send me this to create with, and as an affiliate, I want to quickly explain what that means. If you shop using the links I provide, I'll earn a small commission at no extra cost to you, which helps support my channel so I can keep bringing you more creative inspiration. The items you'll need for today's card are the Ideal Moments press plate and die set, and then you'll need the Blooming Butterflies 3D Emboss and Cut Folder. You also want to grab some Lindy's Magicals. This is a new to me product. I have never played with these before, so I'm super excited to use them. And then the Nuvo Shimmer powders. I've used these before for magical backgrounds we'll be creating. There will be a few additional supplies you'll need along the way, and I'll point those out as we go. But before we jump in, let me show you the 4 cards I've already created with this set. Each one showcases a different combination of dies, embossing, and backgrounds. I can't wait for you to see how versatile this collection is. So let me bring these in real quick. Here they are. Something there. Nice foiled thank you. A nice flower card. Big bloom. And another flower card I made with the embossing folder. And then, and check out all these gorgeous backgrounds I made with these powders. Aren't they amazing? Like I said, one day I just got messy in my craft room and I created backgrounds for cards. So super fun. I mixed both powders on some of these, but really cool. There's all of them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the card making fun, y'all. Let's make some magical backgrounds using Lindy's Magicals and Nuvo Shimmer powders. I've got my splat box out here to help contain the mess because, trust me, things are about to get messy, but in the best, most fun way. I bought all these powders off of Amazon, and I'll have a link to them in my description box if you're interested. One thing I do want to warn you about is that in 2 of the packages I ordered, I ended up receiving duplicates of the same color. I let Amazon know about that, so just a heads up if you decide to purchase them there. I spent an afternoon in my craft room just getting messy and having fun with these powders, and now I'm going to show you how to create some amazing backgrounds. I'm opening all the jars now, and for the cardstock I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Watercolor cardstock. I always keep a good supply of this on hand because it's perfect for projects like this. You want a cardstock that can handle all the water we'll be spraying. Now that the containers are all open, let's lay down our cardstock in the splat box and start playing with these magical powders. Have you ever tried using Lindy's Magicals or Nuvo Shimmer powders before? If so, what are your favorite techniques or color combinations? If not, let me know if you give these a try. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So to start, I'm sprinkling just a tiny bit of the powders onto my watercolor cardstock. Trust me, you really don't need much. Both Lindy's Magicals and Nuvo Shimmer powders are highly concentrated, so even the smallest amount can create bold, vibrant colors. What's amazing about these powders is their versatility. Depending on how much water you add and how you apply the powders, you can achieve everything from subtle, delicate blends to bold, dramatic effects. The real magic of these powders lies in how they come to life when activated. Each tiny speck contains multiple pigments, So as they spread, you'll see the unique color variations and shimmering lights. This means every sprinkle creates a completely different result, giving your backgrounds that unpredictable artistic flair. It's always exciting to see how the colors interact and develop on the cardstock. No two backgrounds will ever look the same. Next, I grab my Spellbinders Mighty Mister, I love this water bottle so much, and give the cardstock a heavy spritz of water, ensuring the entire surface is nice and wet. This step is where the magic really begins. As soon as the water hits the powders, they spring to life, releasing vibrant bursts of color and shimmer that immediately start to swirl and spread. It's like watching a little art show unfold right before your eyes. The pigments move unpredictability, creating beautiful organic patterns that are truly one of a kind. Some colors separate into multiple tones, adding depth and dimension, while others blend softly into the water, creating dreamy gradients. The shimmer within the powders catches the light, adding a touch of sparkle to every area it touches. You can control the intensity of the colors by adjusting how much water you spray. A lighter spritz keeps the powders concentrated and bold, while a heavier spritz encourages the colors to flow further, creating softer blends and fluid transitions. If you tilt the cardstock gently, you can guide the movement of the water and pigments, creating dynamic drips or directional patterns. Alternatively, you can let the colors settle and spread naturally for a more organic, freeform look. Every background will turn out differently, and that's what makes this process so exciting. No two pieces will ever look the same. This step is all about experimentation and enjoying the unpredictable beauty of these powders. Watching the colors dance across the cardstock is such a satisfying and creative experience. See how fun that was? Just taking the time to sit down and create some really cool, unique backgrounds is such a rewarding experience. The vibrant colors, the shimmer, and the unpredictable patterns make it feel like a creative adventure. It's so satisfying to watch the magic unfold as the powders come to life, and each background turns out completely one of a kind. This is also a perfect activity to try if you've lost your creative mojo. Sometimes when you're feeling stuck or uninspired, just sitting down with no pressure or specific project in mind can help spark your creativity. Grab your supplies, play around with the colors, and experiment with different techniques. It's all about having fun and letting your imagination take the lead. Even if you don't have an immediate plan for the backgrounds you're making, they'll be ready for future projects when inspiration strikes again. Now that we've made these magical and vibrant backgrounds, it's time to move on to the next step and see how they come together in our final creation. For this next step, I probably could have used black cardstock to create a similar look, but that wasn't the vibe I was going for. Instead, I really wanted to showcase the Nuvo Shimmer powder in Storm Cloud to create a custom shimmery card panel. To start, I grabbed my distressed watercolor cardstock and lay it down in my Tim Holtz splat box on top of some clean paper towels to help soak up any extra water or powder. Then I go to town layering the Storm Cloud shimmer powder all over the panel. I sprinkle it generously, spritz it with my mighty mister, and watch the magic happen as the pigments activate and start spreading. To ensure the entire panel gets covered, I tilt and move the splat box around, letting the water and shimmer flow across the cardstock naturally. Tilting the box gives me more control over how the colors spread and allows me to fill in any areas that might look lighter or uneven. Once I'm happy with the coverage, I go in with some paper towels to gently dab the edges of the cardstock. This helps soak up any excess water pooling along the sides and keeps the panel from warping too much as it dries. The splat box is a total lifesaver here. It keeps all the powder and water contained, so I can focus on layering the colors and achieving that rich, stormy shimmer effect without worrying about making a mess. By the time I'm done, the entire panel is fully covered and it looks absolutely stunning with a dramatic and magical vibe that's perfect for the card I'm creating. Next up, it's time for some splattering. For today's splatter, I'm using my Gina K Designs Glimmer Mist and Glittering Gold to add some extra sparkle and texture to the panel. Now I'm not sure why I didn't keep my splat box out for this part. Lesson learned. Oh well, instead I placed a piece of paper towel down on my work surface to help contain the mess. I sprayed some of the Glittering Gold Glimmer Mist directly onto my glass mat, creating a little puddle of shimmer to work with. Using a small paintbrush, I dipped into the puddle and started splattering the gold shimmer onto the card panel. The random scattered flecks of gold really elevate the look of the background, adding a touch of elegance and that perfect pop of shine. I love how the splatter creates a mix of small, delicate dots and larger, bold splashes. It adds so much depth and interest to the design. Even though the splat box would have made cleanup easier, sometimes crafting is all about improvising, going with the flow. The end result is so worth it. Oh, I just realized I forgot to mention one of the supplies at the beginning of the video, the leafy 3D embossing folder that I used to emboss the black card panel. I will have that link below in the description box along with my affiliate link. Now we're moving on to the 3D Emboss and Cut Folder, and I picked out a few different backgrounds because I wanted to see how they'd turn out. When using the Emboss and Cut folder, make sure to flip it so the Spellbinders logo is upside down on the bottom. I hope I'm explaining this right. It's important for the cutting edges to align properly. Then place your paper inside the folder and run it through your die cutting machine, just like you would with a regular 3D embossing folder. It's super easy and the results are stunning. Now we're going to emboss and cut some butterflies. Funny story, when I ran the butterflies through the first time, I completely forgot to do what I just told y'all. Yep, I forgot to flip the embossing folder over. Oops, but hey, mistakes happen, and it's all part of the process. Let's fix that and get it right this time. Good thing I made a lot of backgrounds for this video. I knew they'd come in handy. Now I'm running the folder through the correct way to show you how it's supposed to be done. But even with my little oops moment, I'm still going to use the first butterflies I cut because they actually work perfectly with the card design. Okay, now we're running the butterflies through the die cut machine again, and voila, that's how it's done. Just remember to flip the folder over for the best results. Now the butterflies are all done and ready to go. Okay, I'm going to test out one of my shimmery backgrounds to see how it works with this card. At first I was excited about the shimmer, but as I started playing around with it, I realize it's just a little too over the top for this particular design. I even ran one more butterfly through to match the shimmery look, hoping it would tie everything together. But in the end, it just didn't feel right for the vibe I'm going for. Sometimes less is more, right? So I decided to stick with the non-shimmery background instead. Now on to the next step. It's time to get out our Altenew foam adhesive to pop these flowers up and add some dimension to the card. I'm using my trusty Spellbinders scissors for this step. Seriously, I love these scissors so much. They cut through foam adhesive like butter, making this process so quick and easy. I'll have both the Spellbinders affiliate link and my Amazon affiliate link for these scissors linked below if you're interested in checking them out. Then I'm placing the flowers on top of the card panel. With that done, it's time to move on to the next step, picking out the sentiment to complete the card. I absolutely love the Ideal Moments press plate and die set. There are so many sentiments to choose from, and I already had them hot foiled and ready to go. That's one of the things I adore about the better press plates. They make it so easy to have a stash of sentiments on hand. For this card, I decided to switch it up from the original design since I have so many options to pick from. After going through the sentiments, I landed on "So Proud of You." It feels like the perfect fit for this card. I'm using my Spellbinders tape runner to adhere this card panel to the card base that I made in advance using hammer mill cardstock. It's a great sturdy option for card bases and works perfectly with this design. Once that's done, I have something fun to show you on how you can step up these flowers for an extra touch. Stay tuned. Now I'm adhering the flowers that we embossed and cut. Once they are in place, I want to show you a really cool technique you can do with a sanding block to make the raised areas on the flowers really pop. It adds such a unique texture and detail. Let's check it out. I'm just figuring out where the butterfly will go on the card to create the perfect layout. Once that's sorted, I'm grabbing my sanding block to lightly sand the raised areas of the flowers. This is such a fun technique. It really makes those embossed details pop and adds a whole new level of texture to the design. Now it's time to finish and assemble the card. See how much of a difference the sanding block made? It really brought out those raised details and gave the flowers so much extra texture and dimension. I'm going to use the original butterfly that I messed up earlier because honestly, the colors just work so beautifully with this card, and let's be real, I didn't want to waste it. I'm finishing assembling the card by adhering the butterfly in place and carefully adding the sentiment to tie everything together. Sorry about that shakiness there, I'm not sure what's going on. I always love this final step of seeing all the elements come together into a cohesive design. It's so satisfying. Alright, we're just finishing up here, nearing the end of the video. I just love how this is turning out. It's really dark and dramatic for me. Really different vibe. And I want to show off the card. Here's the final card. I love how it turned out, and I hope you love it too. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more crafty content. Ciao for now.